Hello, thanks for joining us in another live video. And today we want to discuss Agile certification and the job market. What do you need to know? Are you a holder of any Agile certification, certified Scrum Master, BSM, release train engineer, leading safe, whatsoever certification you might have within the Agile field? What are the opportunities for you, and how can you explore it? How can you explore it? So, I'm going to be kind of looking into all the different opportunities you have today. Um, Within the agile space, I'm going to be looking at what should you expect. But first, before we get into our session for today, thanks for all of those who are joining in from LinkedIn. Just drop your name, let me know where you're watching from, and also you can share. I have just about 30 minutes. I want to discuss first the Safe 6.1, which just came out, also the implication in the job market for those who are still interviewing. And then later on, I also want to move on to talk about the certification you have, how you can maximize it, and for those who are still to get into the job market. And I'm going to move further to talk about what type of certification should they take, or what should you kind of get into if you're looking to get into the agile field. All right, so you're joining me today, Dr. Francis Bunya, and I am your agile coach. Definitely not just an agile coach, but giving you what you actually need to succeed in the market. All right, so first of all, excited about the new Safe 6.6. I think everyone is also excited as I am. Hi, Catherine. Hello, everyone joining in. And when you look at that, the agile certification and the job market, what does it give you? What information is that communicating to you? Now, why is it very important for us to talk about certification and the job market? Sometimes we focus a lot on I need the certification, I need this certification, and we are not really taking consideration on how the trend in the job market actually is moving and what is expected from us as those who are looking for a job to be able to tweak around that area. Okay, now if you look at the release of Safe 6.0, now I'm going to focus first on what it means for the Scrum Master, what it means for someone at a program level coaching, ROTE, and what it means for someone at the portfolio level coaching, SPC. All right, so those are three dimensions. For Scrum Masters, what does or what meaning should you find in the release of Safe 6.0? Now, when I talk about Safe 6.0, it also affects even those who are not Safe certified, because every company looking forward to leverage Agile, they're looking forward to be outstanding in the way they implement it. And without any bias, Safe is providing that leading space within the Agile fee and opening up other Agile certification body to also speed up. So the first thing is that we are going to see other Agile certification body trying to mash up the energy of Safe 6.0. Now, the bigger change for Safe 6.0, which comes into the role of the Scrum Master, is the Scrum Master. It's also referred to as a team coach. Why is it very important for anyone who is interviewing, or for anyone who is aspiring to be a Scrum Master? It's kind of giving you an idea that we have shifted from the age where Scrum Master, the role of a Scrum Master was just to facilitate event and remove impediment, to an age where a Scrum Master should be a well-rounded coach. It means that every Scrum Master does not only need just a facilitation skills or learn how to master the Scrum framework. You need to learn how to coach. And for those who have actually had the opportunity to be part of any interview, you realize that there are many situational questions that comes up and that require you to put on a coaching cap to be able to interpret it, right? If not, you probably will land yourself in the spot where you try to accept every scenario and try to provide an answer for every scenario. But then you realize that when you are in the coaching fee, not every question have an answer. There are some that just need you to give a scenario of what if scenario. All right. So that is something big everyone should expect, which means that you cannot just get a certification and then go into the job market and expect to get a job. More than 60 to 80% of questions which you're going to be asked, you'll be asking your interview, if you have actually taken one, they would not be directly from the Scrum framework. They're going to be how you apply it. Now 6.0 also kind of give Scrum Master the ability to say, look, it's not just about facilitating event, it's about contributing at a bigger level. So there's a major aspect that has been added for Scrum Master to be facilitator in the PI planning, right? So you don't just expect yourself to be someone that goes for the 2 days event and then after that there is definitely nothing to do. There's a concept of flow that has been also instituted in the change, which means that although you're working at the team level, you need to align yourself to those working at the program and portfolio level and ensure that there's a flow of value. And that's why one of the questions, trust me, you're not going to miss in an interview is how you contribute to leadership or how you help your organization to be more better in Agile. Now, let's look at those who, and before we go to look at those who are within the space of ROTA, we have training for Safe Scrum Master coming up this weekend for those who are interested to be Safe certified. And before we talk about that, why should everyone interviewing get a Safe certification? Why is it important? Oh, it's PSM and CSM important. Now, it's important because it gives you that opportunity, that competitive advantage. Let's say that I'm interviewing for an organization that doesn't practice scale agile, it's not practicing at the scale level, right? And there are two candidates. One actually is certified to operate at a scale environment, enterprise. The other is certified to work only at the Scrum level. And let's assume there's a tie between both of you. Who do you think they're going to pick? Someone with an added value certification. Now, this is the place where certification comes in. Now, the program level coaching, which is the release train engineer. Now, in the Scrum fee, okay, am I going to say the Scrum fee, not the Scrum fee? If you practicing with Scrum Alliance or Scrum.org, you realize that after a Scrum Master, the next position is an Agile coach, right? If you practice with SAFE, you realize that after the Scrum Master, the next position is going to be the ROTE, Release Train Engineer. Now, a Release Train Engineer, it's more of what we call a program level coach and also someone that supervises other Scrum Master. All right, we can consider this to be a senior, but I will not really equate this to a senior Scrum Master role because as an ROTA, release train engineer, you more or less help also in structuring how work or operate at the level of the program, how it translates to the team, and how it link up to the organization. So I would say it's a more prestigious role, right, compared to a senior Scrum Master role, which is very important. Now, for someone that is at the level of an ROT or someone who is practicing Scrum, my recommendation for you in terms of certification and the job market is that you need to start thinking about getting a release train engineer certification if you are practicing now. Some of the biggest mistake those who are actually in the field actually make is that they prefer to get a second job than to work harder to climb the ladder. Now, when the contract expire, they realize it becomes difficult for them to step in to get another job, which is a big mistake. Your goal, if you operate in a leadership field, which is what Scrum is all about. Scrum is all about leadership, right? Forget about what you go learn online for 2 days and 3 days. That can only help you do a little. But Scrum is in the practice, which is definitely the difference we try to create, and which is definitely the difference. Most often, the reason I come online to talk about Scrum is to ensure that you understand exactly what you have enrolled yourself in. And one of the aspects of being a leader is that you become proactive. And which is the reason why when you find yourself in an interview, when you're being interviewed, sometimes they're going to ask you the wrong question just to see if you're going to accept, or just to see if you can decode that this is an anti-pattern. Right? If you've done Scrum a lot, you understand anti-pattern. And also, they will also ask you a certain couple of anti-patterns that operate in an environment, just to see if you have the business acumen, or you have the emotional intelligence to dictate when we can allow such and when we cannot allow it. So those who work at the program level, it's a game changer for you to start thinking about how big Scrum is going to be within the nearest future. The strength which a lot of people have not seen within the agile fee, and they're thinking, oh, it's too saturated now, is they're not seeing the future. Now, why is Scrum or Agile the future? It's not just the future because company are adopting it. It's the future because it's bringing more value to the customer. And we all know that in the business where the customer is the king. So if we are operating in a principle, or we are learning something in the principle that can bring value to the client, you realize that in the nearest future, those who are agile practitioner and have learned the system to get to a particular level can as well become independent consultant, and not even having to get someone employ them to work. Okay. Now, what is the meaning for those who are at the leadership level? When we talk about leadership in Agile, we're talking about portfolio. All right. Why am I looking at all of these different zones? A lot of people think Scrum is just Scrum. There is nothing after Scrum. So you get a Scrum job, you get another Scrum job, you get another Scrum job. No, that is not the case. There are multiple layers. Scrum Master, ROTE. You can go now to a program consultant, and after being a program consultant or being a senior agile coach, you can also move to an enterprise coach, where you're not only working with leadership, you're looking at the entire structure of the company. So there is so much value. And which is why now the advantage, everyone listening to me now, you want to pay attention on this. The advantage we have right now, which might not be available in the near future, is the fact that we can sit in a 16 hours training and have that opportunity to apply and be accepted to take an interview as a scrum master and actually go through it. Now, this is not going to be the same for long. And with all looking at all the market analysis and every stuff, trust me, within the next 5 years or so, you will need to enroll in a tailored university program, study that, get graduated to become a Scrum Master. So it's something which comes with a lot of value, which I think we should really pay attention. Now, I'm going to talk about those who are at the program level. What does it mean for them? Numerous opportunity. Being at the level of leadership, one of the duty you owe everybody is to give back. Is to give back. So coming here and giving you strategy on how to be able to succeed within the Scrum fee, it's about giving back. That's a value every leader should have. Now, giving back doesn't mean that it's about free value. When anything becomes free, it doesn't become value. But I'm giving back because I know I also get to learn. I'm giving back because I know people also need my service. So by giving back, you're able to position yourself to get attracted to a lot of people. And for everyone within, especially those who are following up from LinkedIn, giving back, especially within LinkedIn community, it's more of what we call your public CV. So for those who are also in the field trying to break through the job system, and your public CV is saying otherwise, you might be wondering, why is no one looking after me? It's because publicly we cannot see you as a leader. You might talk as a leader, but then we also need to see you in the public space. All right, the last part, and I'm going to take a couple of questions. Um, couple of questions before I leave. I have just 30 minutes. I got 13 more minutes before I close down. Now, the last part for those who are still to get into the Scrum fee, what should you expect? What should you go after? Now, this is my recommendation. A lot of people always ask me this question. All right. Should I go do PSM or CSM because it's more simpler? Then I can go do safe. All right. This is my response. The goal for you becoming a scrum master is that you're stepping into a leadership position. Stepping into a leadership position, number one, means no excuses. Number two means that you don't want to go for what everyone else is going. Is it important to have PSM and CSM? Yes. Is it only what you should get? No. With that, currently now you are putting yourself at the bottom line, and you realize that no matter sometime how hard you might work, you go for an interview to tell you, oh, we move on with another person. Now, what you should do for people that if you know that you master what you know and you can defend it, and you are not yet getting the interview, or when you get into an interview, they say, oh, we're moving with someone else. My recommendation for you would be go for a higher certification. Now, the good thing about getting some of this certification is that you can get them. For instance, RTE training. We're going to be running an RTE training within the next 2 weeks, 14 and 15 and 16, a 3 days training. You can go to a 3 days training, 8 hours a day. And after that, you become certified as a release train engineer. Now, that doesn't mean that you can work as a release train engineer. But just because you have put yourself in that space and gotten that certification, if a company is interviewing two people and they get to a point where they need to pick one, and you have an ROTE certification, you become more valuable and more access to them. And that is why when you kind of step up to take certification which are more competitive like ROTE, SPC, it costs at least $2,500 to do it. Now, this is the reason. The reason is because anything valuable costs money. Anything valuable costs money. And this also goes for to those who are trying to break through. One of the reasons, to be very sincere, why many of you are still in the same spot doing the same thing over and over and over again is because you're not creating any value. The same thing you were doing 3 months ago is the same thing you're doing now, is the same thing you're going to be doing the next 3 months, and you're expecting to get results. I spoke to someone last weekend, and and they were explaining to me the frustration they've had. And now they're blaming everybody. You realize that whenever you don't succeed, you blame everybody, right? And like, oh, I think this is not fair, and this is not fair. And I asked them, okay, you've been in this space for 8 months trying to get this. What do you have? And the only thing they had was a PSM. Like, and you're trying with the same thing over and over again for 8 months, you're not seeing a result, and you're not thinking about getting something added to it that might take you a step ahead, then you're definitely joking. And to kind of conclude, this is the biggest mistake we have, the deception that getting certified, everyone can get certified. And I think if you go online now, even with less than $500, you can become a certified Scrum Master, right? In almost, there's some which are definitely free. You can self-study for PSM, go pay $150, take the certification, you're certified Scrum Master. But although you are certified Scrum Master, that doesn't give you the job. Sometimes you might even know the basic, but then you have not created the value to be able to break in, because you yourself, how will you imagine that? Okay, all you do is just get a certification and try to watch every YouTube video, and then you want to go get a six-figure job where they're expecting you to be a leader, and you've never been in the space where you even have a conversation with three people, and you want to get on the job the first day and start facilitating. That doesn't work. Now, this is exactly what we don't want. And why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up for those who are in there. You want to break through the fee, and you're looking for where to invest your money. You don't invest your money in questions and answer. That's going to help you if you're an expert. You should invest in a community that gives you the opportunity to practice. This is a value you cannot beat, you cannot buy it, and it's very difficult. One of the reasons why I started coaching others on how to get into the field and created a community and structuring it in a way that people can practice as if they're doing internship is because I noticed after talking to several people that were in the field that they're trying to do what they don't have no clue about. They've never practiced. All you know is listening to someone and then trying to be like them. Now, the confidence you get to break through any job market comes from the reality that you can assume. The reality is a new practicing and role playing, right? It does not actually mean that you have to be in a real environment. This is a game changer you need. Certification, the job market, what next? It's about getting into a space where you get to feel, where you get to talk to people. You get to be able to participate. You get to be able to take the lead. You get to see how it means like sitting and facilitating a group of people and try to coordinate. So these are opportunities that kind of help you to advance, but many people are not taking that lead to do that, right? And because of that, you're putting yourself in a disadvantage. All right, I'm going to take about 10 questions before we wrap up for today. So if you have a question, put it in the comment box and I'm going to gladly answer the question. So, kind of looking at some of the questions I wanted to answer today. The first one was, are you a certified agile practitioner and need to break through the job market? I've addressed that already. The second one was, what is the right certification you should get to take advantage of? I encourage everyone to be safe certified, right? You should be safe certified. It puts you in a competitive position. The third question was, what if I am new in this space? Where should I start? Start with a scale agile certification. It gives you a full understanding. Now, you can start with self study and go get your PSM, or you can start with CSM, but you need to aim to go climb to the ladder. More than 60% of company interviewing for Scrum require you to have the practicing safe. So if you're not safe certified, you are blocking yourself. You're not doing yourself any good. The last question for today was, what does or what are my expectations? That's like, what are my expectations in the journey? Okay, this is the last one. And I just addressed that. Your expectation is not to have a certification. Your expectation is, how do I convert what I have in my hand to something valuable? Investing in yourself, if you want to break through the leadership space, should not be something which you think twice. This is a point where many of us fall short. As someone was asking me about, oh, when is your next say Scrum Master training? And I said, oh, this weekend. And they said, how much is a certification? I said, oh, certification is 799, and this includes your certification fee and also provide you training to learn how to practice Scrum on Jira. I was like, oh, 799 is too expensive. That's too expensive for me to get. I like, okay, this is expensive compared to what? Compared to you getting a certification for 799 that open an opportunity for you to earn a lifetime income, not 1 month, not 2 months, not 1 year, not 2 years, to learn something that is going to open you up to an opportunity where you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in less than no time. And then you qualify that 1,000, 2,000, $5,000 is too expensive to get that. Many of us in this space have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to go into programs which you're not making use of it, and that wasn't really expensive. So these are some of the reality we kind of really need to check when we're looking for value, when we're looking to break through. Now, for you to get to the top, for you to be the one out of hundreds of people interviewing, you need to learn to start doing what other people are not doing. Okay, so I have a question uh, Fatmata, I'm taking a Scrum course. The question is I have is after my first opportunity working in a real world, should I get my ROTE, okay, it's release train engineer certification when I get back to the job market? No, you should get it while you are in the job market. Continue learning. When you get a job, that's the time you should learn. Like take every certification because you are now you have the opportunity to apply it. So if you take an ROTE certification when you're out of the job market, you will not have an opportunity to implement it. If you take it while you're in the job market, for those who are already working as Scrum Master, you can now start seeing opportunity to implement that. So even in your next position, you can already interview as an ROTE because you have learned it, you've applied it in your environment. Although you are not an ROTE, you can look at scenario where you could apply that knowledge and you can easily stand out. Okay. So, where can I get some experience in the role? Practice prior to the job. All right, Scott, send me a private message. I have a community that can help you get that. If you're looking for hands-on, not looking for someone that you're gonna call every day and ask a question, where you're placed in an independent scrum team, you have the opportunity to practice and all of that. Send me a private message. I'm gonna send you information to look at that. Say I pay 2K, still can't get a job. I'm not about the money. Okay, is the tutor capable? And that's what I was talking about. It's not about the amount you pay, it's about the structure for everyone. Before and now, this is also where many people get into the wrong hands, right? Now you come to me and you're expecting me, okay, tell me, how can you help me? I can tell you every possible lie that I can help you, right? Now, this is the difference. Before you go to up now, the first thing you get is the knowledge which we're giving you here. But before you go to every instructor, you should have a list of things you want to learn. Now, the reason many people do wrong investment is because they don't even take the time to do their own research on what they need. So they let the instructor tell them what they need. I've had opportunity to review several resume done by instructor, like, oh, my instructor did this for me, my instructor, and I look at it like, I definitely don't think an instructor is going to do this, because if they actually understand what the market is, they won't do this. So, first thing, okay, let me give you what you should look for if you want to get into any community. I'm not asking you to come to my community. If you come to my community, it's definitely a process to get in. It's not open for everybody because the goal is not to get everybody in. Number one, you want to look for an opportunity to be in a Scrum project where you can practice the tool, not just demo. You can be in a team yourself. You can act as a Scrum Master. You can run through all the events. You want to be in an opportunity where is it possible for also me to facilitate as a team lead, to facilitate and order listening to me? What are the opportunities that you have to let me practice as if I'm in the right environment? What are the tools that you have? How is your structure organized? How is it organized to ensure that I am doing the right thing? How do you help me if I have a job today and I need to move on? These are questions you should ask prior to investing. If you don't write down this question and you come to me, I can tell you every possible lie. But when you have your question and you're validating that, now you're investing against all of those questions you validated. So with that, you don't get to put your money in the wrong place. All right. Plus you can afford to pay the training. Oh yeah, if you can afford to pay training. Now, Scrum is not for everybody. Let's be very sincere. It's not for everybody. It's just like going to a medical school is not for everybody. Going to Harvard is not for everybody. Now, what makes you outstanding in Scrum, and this is where a lot of people are wasting their time. Sorry to say this, but I want to be very blunt with us because this is a leadership call, right? This is not a sales call. It's a leadership call, which means we tell you exactly what we want to tell you. All right. So this is the goal for you to get in a space where you're looking forward to make a six-figure income, is not any joking matter. So now you cannot say that you're preparing a cause towards getting a six-figure and you don't even put aside an investment. You want to invest yourself up to about $5,000 to make sure that you do everything possible to get in. This is a life-changing opportunity we're talking about. And many people definitely don't have value for it. And because of that, they keep doing the same thing over and over again and they're frustrated. The one of the biggest mistake, or I'm looking for the right word. One of the Is it a bad thing? Not really a bad thing. One of the things we do to ourselves is that we prioritize other things and other people compared to ourselves. Now, the best thing you can do for yourself is never to think that there is too much to invest in yourself. No, even if it's going to cost you $20,000, and you are sure that at the end of $20,000, you have the knowledge that can help you generate millions in the next 5 years. The, the evaluation you give to every opportunity is not the cost at that time, it's in the future. If you start thinking like that, it changes the way you look. You don't go for those who, because of the cost, this person is cheap, this person is doing this. No, you go for where you get the knowledge. Someone may actually be cheap and they're asking you $1,000 and they're wasting your time for the next 1 year for you to get there. Someone may say, oh, look, this is $5,000, and you get in that space 90 days, you're in there, right? What's the difference? Time is something you can buy. And that's why for people who create result, they don't talk about cost. They talk about value. Is it worth your time? Right. It's about getting a Gucci bag and then getting another ordinary bag. All of them are the same. But what value do you want out of it? So this is something we should always reflect in when we talk about cost. If you're in the Scrum fee and you're looking forward to get a job and your problem is still about the cost, then you need to get serious. This is something you should invest if you definitely want to break through. Invest your life saving to get the best. Even means getting a private, what private would not really help you because Scrum is a team game. So getting someone that is a private instructor, I don't know what they're going to be private coaching you about. You should get to a community where you can get hands-on and practice it. Private coaching would definitely also not really help you. Okay. Think our time is up for today. Transition from teaching to Scrum. How do I get into the room? All right. Scott. Now, for anyone who is from a different fee and is looking forward to transitioning to Scrum, my first advice is don't just go online and pay for a certification and take. My advice is invest your money in a full program, which is an end-to-end program with a Ray coach that doesn't only teach you how to get a certification. How are they going to help you navigate? Let them be able to share with you how they can translate your skills to helping you navigate and become a Ray Scrum Master in real life without any experience. How does their environment offer that? If they can give you a track record of what they can do and you evaluate and see that this is a reality, you can evaluate because you definitely understand what you want, then you should invest your money. But then the wrong thing a lot of people do is that they look for one certification. After certification, they go look for a resume. After resume, now they start chasing after every YouTube video. And at the end of the day, they're like, this wasn't for me. No, get ready for those who are in the medical fee. There's definitely no day you go sit at home and say, oh, I want to read all the medical book and then go be a doctor. Why is there a structure? Because they need people to do the right thing. And trust me, in the near future, this is what Scale Agile is also trying to put in place, where there is a structure in case you want to call yourself a certified Scrum Master. You must have been through that structure. You want to call yourself an Agile coach. You must have been through that structure. It's validated, everything is verified. All right. Thank you very much. And this is our time up. If you have any other question, what you can do, you can send me a private message. That's fine. Or you can actually drop it in a comment and I'll follow up after this live session. I can answer it. All right. All right. Thank you, John. I was just adding to your response. That's right. That's right. Um, Yes, please, if you're in and you want to really get in, what you do, look for training programs. Look for full training programs which provide end-to-end result. Now, certification is for those who already know what they want and they just want to go in there and get it. For you, if you don't know what you want and you want support end-to-end, look for a training program. If you look at the description of this video, I actually put a link on some of our training program. You can go check them out yourself. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Please, before you go, make sure that you put a thumbs up. Make sure that you drop a comment. And if this actually benefited you, to some people that are at work right now, this was an impromptu video. You definitely want to share so that they can benefit from it. And I will see you on the other side. Thank you very much.